Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, my second channel where I just cover all this random gossip and VTuber news or whatever, I wanted to kind of do a sit-down video and discuss on iDubbbz. Now, iDubbbz is a very peculiar one because back in the day and more of the heyday of YouTube, I think a lot of people actually liked the guy. Part of like a big old trio, you know, with good old filthy Frank and Joji. Real rip in peace on him, and of course as well people like anything for views, and Max, who have actually done relatively well in the YouTube scene. And then iDubbbz is kind of the mongrel of it, like the random homeless basement dweller, as some people are calling him now, or it just feels like he never really hit the mark of where we wanted to switch his content, completely did like a 180 on his content in the first place, and right now I think a lot of people are calling him out on a lot of things. Number one, there's big drama still with H3 and him. His wife, people are saying he's kind of like just a soy boy now, for lack of better terms. And I'm not one of those people who like to like super harp on someone or harass someone. It's not really like the type of style of content I like to make. But I will go and say it is an entertaining one because his entire life is completely just seemingly destroyed, dude. Like, I hope this guy made $1 bajillion and he's just retiring, living his life. But I kind of feel like that didn't really happen because he was also dropping very inappropriate words on some of his videos, which most likely didn't make their videos demonetized. And of course, over many, many years, you do run out of money. So we'll kind of go and see. But right now, the big fall of iDubbbz is almost one to be studied. And if you guys ever want a properly good edited like video doc, please subscribe. Or maybe you guys think I'm stupid, then please leave a hate comment. Please actually don't. I'm kind of a soft boy at heart. I don't know why I'm making these videos. I'm not good at it. But recently, iDubbbz has gone under a lot of scrutiny. And I think a lot of it's deserved. Mainly due to the fact they had like that big boxing charity, quote unquote, charity event. And they basically stole, quote unquote, like, it's a lot of this is alleged. I'd have to see the documents going on public thoughts. Stole money from charity. Like, they didn't pay people. It was meant to be a guise for charity, but they themselves are getting paid first and foremost. I'm not really a big fan of people who utilize things like charity and, you know, take money off the top. Not a good vibe. They were also trying to somewhat like segue into like political content. As you can see, his most recent video is "Are you scared of immigrants?" Weird. I usually more of a fan of like fun videos, you know, if I have to watch. Their community's turning on them and just they're losing subscribers everywhere. So let me take a few bits and pieces on this. First and foremost, their comment section, horrible. Pay your coaches the money you owe them. 8,000 likes. Funny, listen to someone who isn't from Europe telling everyone what Europe is like. Yes, I'm terrified of immigrants. This is because I hear that they often don't pay the coaches they're owed. California YouTuber who got famous from eating sewer pickles tells Europeans what to think. I'm still searching for the positive comments. Bro is quite literally lobotomized. What kind of humiliation ritual is this? Bro. Congrats on 6 million subs, been here since 7 million. My liberal friends are going to love this one. Now, I don't like to be too political. I try to be very in the middle because, you know, both sides got rights and wrongs either way. But one thing I don't really like is people who preach. And I also don't like people who preach and they're stupid. And I also don't like people who preach and they also like don't realize that they're wrong, very narcissistic. And I'm also not a big fan of people who just have the shtick of, I don't care about life, it doesn't matter. Let me just give you this garbage. Let me go and give you this garbage opinion. Whatever you say and do doesn't matter, because as a content creator, your audience does matter. And clearly, as you guys can tell by these comments, a lot of people are not like good. Like, you know, like people are just not vibing too as well. Look at the guy who scammed a charity, wants to tell us how morally superior he is. Very empathetic. Thank you, Anissa's husband. Very cool. And you guys can kind of tell that this is just not the vibe. Like, I've never been a big iDubbbz watcher. I never really liked the guy. I never thought he was funny. But on the internet side, you'd see content cops, you know, even back in the day. And he was trying to, I think, make some content. Like, if anything, I'd actually respect the guy when I make a video like this. Not that anyone actually cares at the end of the day anyway. Like, you go make some funny, goofy things over here. And, like, it's not my cup of tea. Maybe if I was 13 and had a Tumblr trying to figure out the world, like, I'd care. But most of his content was never really my cup of tea. You know, it is what it is. But back in the day, people liked him. You know, like 11 million views, 10 million views, 14 million views, 7 million views. Like, at his heyday, he was probably doing pretty good. But as you guys can probably go and tell, it seems like he doesn't really know what he wants to be. You know, like, your body, my birth vessel. I don't even want to click on this video because I don't even know what this is going to be. I saw Ben Shapiro in 3 seconds. Like, why are you talking about politics, bro? Like, you have all these crazy weird videos and your friends used to like drop every single slur known to man and like, you know, just make fun stuff, you know, like make fun stuff. But instead they want to make this weird political switch up, and I don't think people are liking it. Because if you look through all their, like, number one, their monthly gain views, they're not really getting a lot of views. Like, I mean, 1 million views maybe, but this guy got 7 million subs. I mean, this is with making actual videos too as well. But the bigger thing is the subscriber count. Every single month, bleeding subscribers. Like negative 30,000 back in May of 2023. And if you look even now, like, look, people like just every month, just thousands upon thousands of people leaving. Even the viewership is really bad. Like 21,000 views a day. Like, this is kind of low. Like once again, factor in 7 million subscribers, but it's losing. Like, people are leaving in droves because he kind of missed the mark. And there's also a lot of people over here too, like H3, that are kind of, you know, calling him out. Like, hey, you're spineless, basement-dwelling losers. The sheer poverty of their combined talent and charisma makes Hassan looks like MLK. And like, I'm not a political guy. Like, I don't really care about politics. And there is, you know, the lawsuit with H3 where he's suing people like Frogan and Caseytron for like doing this underground Discord call out. Like, I don't care. Like, dude, I'm just here to talk about gossip, bro. I don't care about any of these people. I've never met them. I never will. They're not my none of these people are my type of people. But for the sake of internet drama and discussing this stuff, I do like it. Like, it's crazy to see like a community turn so hardcore from a beloved content creator. Like, this content cop got 7.3 million views. 2.1 afterwards. But this also had a lot of dislikes. Like, people weren't the biggest fan of it. And he's trying to act like this cool alpha guy over here making like his old content, but like, that's just not what he is anymore. Because I think he actually is unironically living in his like wife's family's basement. Like, you have all this money from making YouTube videos. You have like 1 billion views. This is definitely, hopefully, at least a few $1 million, unless you are very hardcore demonetized. And granted, that doesn't last forever, especially in big places like, say, California, sure. But like, what's the end goal? Because if you even look at, like, there's even subreddits over here being like, I miss the old iDubbbz. And this is like, they're going on these crazy comments being like, bro, this guy is just on the decline. Like, this persona doesn't work. And like, people are even saying like the most obvious flaws and ironies behind these people. But now that he's trying to be like they're basically saying like, hey, you used to like pick on people that were just dumb, you know, like these funny, silly, goofy people, or people like Leafy, you know, which you probably, even now you can make a chin joke and be fine 10 years later. But the thing is, like, they're just calling him dumb. Like, people used to watch, at least people, I don't even know what bread tuber is. But I think a lot of people are trying to like milk on this political, like, Activision type side, and like trying to go get those people that are like very up in arms and very loyal because they like their political side being mentioned. I'm not that type of person. If I want to watch content, I'm just watching something funny. You know, I'm just enjoying myself. But I'm not a big fan of someone who steals money from charity. I'm not a big fan of people who are trying to tell me what to think. I'm not a big fan of someone who used to like unironically shove things inside themselves and say in very inappropriate slurs, which I'm not like, bro, I grew up on like Xbox 360 Call of Duty. I've heard everything. I don't really care what people have to say. But I do have to go and care how you present yourself. And if you seem like a loser, I'm not going to listen to you. If you seem like a loser and you seem like you're right no matter what without taking valid criticisms, I'm going to think even less of you. I think if you're doing all that while you're also not listening to your community and avoiding all these very valid criticisms of stealing money from charity, stealing money from other people, not paying people out, and even linking things like defense funds for people's GoFundMes from people who are, you know, like just involved in this type of stuff. Like, what is this, dude? Like, why are you getting involved in this stuff? Like, why do you have a video discussing immigration and like linking people's like lawsuit funds and all this? You know, like, what, like, it. I think if you guys are getting the high picture of this video, like, what's the point? Like, what's his end goal here? Is he trying to just become a political person? If so, then you are not catering to the audience he built throughout the years. And people also grow up, people get different opinions, or they just want to go and watch your content for something that's like more laid back. Because they have people over here, like, I think it's Cold Ones, for I think from Views and Max, and like they were able to go and like figured stuff out. Like, they have a really good, in my opinion, like channel. Like, they make cool videos. They've done really well. Look at these views. Millions of views every time. For years. They have like millions of subs. They have fun. They just hang out with their friends. Like, this is what people turn into because they wanted to. They made this effort. They've been making videos for years. And what was Idubbbz doing? He just disappeared off the internet, and that's about it, you know? That's about it. So this is something I respect. Like, I don't really watch it actively, but like, I've seen a few videos. They're not bad. But Idubbbz, I just don't think he knows what he's doing. And I don't think he really should be the guy who's making these videos talk about immigration and like everything else, just based on everything else he's ever done. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed. I think his communities and of old viewers are kind of disappointed too as well. And just like, dude, I'm never going to care about this guy ever again because he's doing some weird drama content with him and his wife. And this is not entertaining for me. It's never really been. You know, and people are critiquing the guy, and I think he kind of deserves it because he stole money from charity. Send me your thoughts and comments on this. So if you guys would ever like more in-depth videos like this, I'm not the smartest or best YouTuber, but I can put some editing into it. I don't know, subscribe, like, or disagree. I don't mind down below.